Lee returned before winter. She also brought not just one but a number of people. The vampire, Flora Sakuta, came back along with 20 maids. It seems like they are those who were working for her in her previous residence. They are all from the Ana race. If you look at them closely, you'll notice small horns on their head. They are on their forehead. Some have one. The others have two, but they are all located before their hairlines. The size is about as big as a thumb. The head maid's name is Anne. My lord, I will now be in your care. She recognized me as the head. Did Flora ask them so? No. It seems like Flora and the maids will be staying at my house. So that's why I'm the head. The chain of command is somewhat confusing. It looks like Lou, Flora, and Anne arrange it in that order. Although there are only 2 vampires, Lou and Flora, Lou will be their representative. The representative of the Annes is Anne. By the way, the maids will prioritize my needs first, then Lou and Flora after me. I asked them why should I be the priority, but they told me that ranking is important. Okay. For the Anne maids, that is a serious matter and they will postpone whatever they are doing to do something for the one with higher rank. The cow. Anne's group brought 4 cows with them. When Flora stayed here, I remember telling her things that this place lacks. Cow. All of them are female and 3 of them are pregnant. She thought about milk too. I made a large cow area, about 8 by 8 fields, on the north side of the dog area and east of the fruit area. I plowed it in a dash. I tried planting grass. It will be winter soon, so I asked Ria's group to make a barn. Though the Animaids also have a problem with their sleeping space, we prioritized building the barn. It is because I thought that the cow will be more vulnerable to winter than the Annes. Regarding the cow care, I'm relieved that Anne's group knows about it. It seems like Flora's late return was due to the cows. She only came back when they properly learned the method of taking care of the cows. I appreciate it. And the most important thing was to tell the Kuros and the spiders to absolutely not lay their hands on the cow. The cows were frightened with the Kuros and the spiders, but they got used to them after a while. All right. With this, milk is secured. I heard that you should not milk a cow for a certain period of time after giving birth. Right. Cows also need to breastfeed. It is for the sake of the calf. Let's decide the distribution later. Let's not be greedy. In any case, the number of residents increased a lot. TN. Manga Chapter 20 Page 6. Chapter 42. Tyr goes out and winter arrives. The number of high elves increased by 42, so they are now 54. 2 vampires, 20 Annes. Kuros. A lot. Zabaton. A lot. Bees. 4 hives. Slimes. Increasing, unable to count. Cows. 4. And don't forget the angel. 1. Tyr was thinking, because of the vampire Flora and the Animaids, her influence weakened. I'm alone here. Should I also invite someone? In addition, I was overjoyed with the cows the Animaids presented me. Now I've done it. I will bring my subordinates too. Furthermore, I'll bring chickens that husband wanted, so please expect it by all means. Tyr said that and left. It is almost winter. She's scheduled to come back around spring. Winter arrived. We emphasized interaction with the newly arrived residents. I had Ria's group take care of the newly arrived high elves. The problem is the Annes. I wouldn't mind it that much if they are living in a separate house in the southwest area, but their house hasn't been built yet. All of them are living in my house. I intended to improve considerably in this world, but I am not really that sociable. I'm thinking of working hard on that part, but not too hard. The Annes are also very good at keeping distance. Our work-related conversations compose of bare minimum words and there is only a little idle chat. Moreover, they don't forget their standing. Every one of them is like an excellent receptionist of a big company. I learned from our conversations that they have been hired as maids by Lou and Flora's family and has several hundreds of years of experience already. Perhaps them keeping distance from me is not really a problem. They are perfectly good at cleaning and washing. The only housework they are not good at is cooking. Why? Lack of knowledge. It seems like the only cooking method they know of is throwing all the ingredients on the pot and boil them. So I taught them all the cooking method I know during winter. Perhaps they'll be better than me in spring. With the Annes around, the liveliness of my house increased a lot. Until now, The lights at night were lit and extinguished by either Lou or Tia to the point that it became a matter of concern. However, now that the Unis are here, they are now taking care of that. Them cleaning and washing every day became the norm. Thus, the bedsheet is clean every day. TN, I guess you probably already know why the bedsheet needs to be clean every day. Right. The grass I insert in bed was all thrown away after they no longer felt good, but Ria's group taught me about the most suitable grass for bed, so we changed all of them. Thanks to that, we will only need to change the grass inside every 6 months. We also add an additional sheet in order to prevent dirt on the bed. Cultured. In regards to the fire, we're greatly managing it. We spent time considerably warm this winter. Yup, it's great. I feel like I've been irresponsible and negligent until now. Let's not think about it. Thinking about it, even with Lou and I, Tia had been the one doing most house-related things, but now we let the Unis do all of it. Because of that, I concentrate on making small things while Lou and Flora are getting absorbed with their medicine research. It's a little bit lonely without Tia. That reminds me. The Unis were surprised with the spiders and the Kuros, but they did not faint. Have they heard of them before? But they panicked when they saw the bees in the fruit area. Did they not hear about them? By the way, all the newly arrived high elves fainted on the spot when they saw Zabuton. She's not that much scary though. Chapter 43, Additional 3 Angels. With chickens and lizardmen, Tia arrived the same time as Spring. She came back with 3 angels and 15 lizard-face humanoid beings whose bodies are covered with hard scales. Their upper bodies are naked and they cover their lower bodies with an apron. Most of them have big physique and are carrying big backpacks. According to Tia, they are called Lizardman race. The angels that she brought seems to be her subordinates. I'm Gran Maria. I'm Kudel. I'm Coron. Please take care of us from now on. The 3 angels are wearing armor and are equipped with lance. That moment, the word Valkyrie emerged in my head. So, they are Tia's underlings. Underlings? But looking at them together with Tia, they looked like a high school girl idol group. Every one of them has blonde hair and wings on their back. I thought that these girls wanted to live together with Tia in the same house, but it seems like they want a house of their own. The lizardmen they brought along will also live there. Because of that, construction begins in the southwest area where the elves' houses are. Since we are already used to it, together with the high elves, we built it in about 5 days. It looks like everyone is improving. It was a good house. Should we remodel Ria's group's house since it was the first one we built? Their toilet is outside, so it is inconvenient in various ways. Since Ria's group declined, we just remodel it a little. I'm Dagger. Please take care of me from now on. The representative of the lizardmen is Dagger. My apologies, but I can distinguish the individuality of lizardmen. Every one of them looks the same. Even after hearing that 5 out of 15 of them are females, I still can't distinguish them. It seems like Tia and the others also can't distinguish them, so that can't be considered as a problem. However, I want to at least know who is the representative. I intended Dagger to wear clothes, but it seems like lizardmen are embarrassed when they are wearing clothes. Because of that, I decided to wrap a scarf around his right arm. Within the baggages that Dagger's group brought are the chickens that Tia promised. Now that we have hens, we can secure eggs. It seems like they even lay eggs on the way here, so we can expect a steady supply in the future. But there are only a few of them. There are only around 40 of them. There are 5 roosters and 35 hens. I thought that chicken lays eggs every day, but Dagger said they don't. I don't know if my knowledge is wrong or if it's just the chickens of this world, but healthy chickens lay eggs every other day. In short, we can expect 10 pieces per day. I'm not sure if it is a lot or a few. Personally, I think it's a few because there are more than 10 residents. Let's increase their number for now. So, how do you distinguish the fertile one to the infertile? I'll let the rooster decide. I thought of making a chicken area, but collecting the eggs in the future will be troublesome. I'll raise them near our house first. I'll place them on the north side of the big tree. We made a hen house with nests. As for their feeds, I plowed the ground. Chicken feeds are grains, so I guess corn or wheat. Should I increase the number of fields? For the time being, I planted something like a grass on the ground. That will be the chicken feed for now. I also informed the Kuros and Zibaton about them. A new building, or should I say a new dormitory, was built near our house. It is for the maids. In addition to me, Lou, Tia, and Flora, our house can't accommodate Anne's group of 20. Until now, they are using the warehouses as their bedrooms. Lou, Tia, Flora, and Anne will live in my house, and the new house will be for the other maids. I asked the High Elves to build it. They're quite fast and finished it in 3 days. As for the interior, it is not that great, but the 19 of them have a room of their own. The common facilities of their house are the toilet, a simple kitchen, and a living room with a fireplace. Each private room has 1 bed and 1 cabinet. It is their call if they want tables and chairs in their room with just a bed and a cabinet. It is obviously only a place to sleep in. However, it seems like the maids have requested Zibaton and her spiderlings to create curtains and bed sheets on their own taste. The 3 newly arrived angel came in front of me when they are already accustomed to the new life and new house. Your orders. Please leave the front line to me. I will do my best in gathering information. No, what's with this atmosphere? I'm just a villager who works hard in farming. No, I'm the village chief. These 3 are obviously warriors. Well, it is obvious since they are wearing almost and have weapons, but Tia? I wanted to know Tia's intention for bringing them here. I intended to have these girls patrol the forest in the sky as a mobile unit. Mobile unit? Yes. That time when the wyvern attacked, it managed to breathe fire because we reacted too late. On that basis, I called the 3 of them here. I see. If it is the wyvern from that time, although they probably can't beat it, they can lure it so it won't be able to inflict damage this place. The 3 of them nods confidently. So they are guards. I see. Until now, we are depending on Zibaton's alarm and the Kuros, but if something similar to that wyvern comes out, it might be necessary to have security personnel. They have wide range too. I understand. Please do so. The 3 of them replied strongly. I am consulting you about something. Kuro, Zibaton, Lou, Tia, Ria, Anne, and Dagger. The slimes, bees, cows, and chickens can't participate, so they don't have representatives here. I gathered all the representative of various races in the hall of my house to talk about something. Let's decide the name of this place. This place? At first, there is only my house, but after building various things, it has now become a village. In fact, the High Elves are calling me village chief already. Because of that, I'm thinking of giving this village a name. Do you have a good name in mind? I don't know the name of the villages here, so I consulted them. How about the village chief's name? I think of what Ria said. My name is Michio Hiraku. Michio Village, Hiraku Village. Not good. How about naming it after this forest? Anne suggested. Name of this forest? That reminds me, what is the name of this forest? Thinking about it, it must be normal to name the village to where it is located. What is the name of this forest? Forest of Death. I never thought that this forest has such a frightening name. How about something closer to that? Land of Death. And the one living in that place is me. But despite being called Forest of Death, this place is pretty rich. Though I still don't want this place to be called Land of Death. In any case, if we really use it as reference, it will be called Village of Death. As expected, I don't want it. Naming it after me is better. After that, various opinions were voiced out and there are also heated discussions, but we didn't come up with a good name. When everyone ran out of idea, Zibaton called me and pointed out at the large tree from the window. Big Tree Village. It came out to me suddenly, and it was selected. From now on, this place will be called Big Tree Village. Chapter 44. Wine and Guest. Demon King's Envoy. Wine was produced. Lou and Deer suggested a taste test event, but when it was announced, it became a drinking event and eventually became a party. Though I have made much wine, the amount of consumption of the residents is enormous. 4 barrels were emptied in that party. I'll just continue to make wine as much as I harvest, but the evaluation was too good. This is the first time I taste wine as good as this. Delicious. Was wine supposed to be this good? One more cup. You drink too much. Show some modesty. I'll drink my share though. It's not bad and it really tastes like wine, but I don't think it is enough to be praised that much. I think it is not fermented that much. It tastes sweet. Husband, let's increase the vineyard. My liege, I'm inexperienced, but let me do what I can to help you. Village chief, leave the barrel making to me. Thus, the number of vineyards for wine increased. That's probably a good thing. By the way, the wine was popular with the Kuros too. Of the 4 barrels of wine, the Kuros drank 1. Dogs. This is the first time I saw one getting drunk and stagger while walking. Afterwards, I noticed that the Kuros concentrated on guarding the vineyards. I want to think that it's just my imagination. Wine was not something to be consumed regularly. It was supposed to be served at an event or something. Though there are some objections, they consented in the end, probably because everyone thought that the supply won't last if it is consumed regularly. I don't dislike wine and I'm not craving for it, but something inside me considers wine as a luxury good. In my previous world, wine was consumed in medieval time casually because drinkable water is hard to come by, but we can draw clean water from the well here, so we don't need to rely on wine. The requests of the citizens to bring out wine increases as they thought of several reasons to demand for it, but that is another story. Side story, the village's wine rebellion. Now that we're breeding cows and chickens, milk and egg supply are now secured. As a result, the number of dishes we can cook has increased. I need to increase the number of chickens, so I did not use them all for cooking. Only those eggs that are not laid in the hen house are to be consumed. I tried cooking using it. The first dish I cook is a plain omelette seasoned with salt and pepper. Delicious. A nostalgic taste. Suddenly, I saw Kuro's head lying on the table. I gave him some. Kuro ate it with satisfaction. Next. Pudding. Ingredients are milk, eggs, and sugar. Since I extracted sugar from sugar cane, I have enough on hands. I cooked it and poured it into a wooden glass. That felt good. Now, I'll have to put it somewhere to cool it down. Should I put it in the cellar? While waiting for it to cool down, I experimented on making caramel sauce. Caramel sauce is made by heating a mixture of sugar and water, but it is not as simple as I thought. I burned it many times before I succeeded. However, everything I've done was in vain. The smell of burnt caramel sauce is very sweet. Lou, Tia, Flora, and the Unis who are supposed to be doing their respective job are unexpectedly standing by the door. Because of the low supply of eggs, I only managed to make 5 puddings. Thus, a battle has occurred. Even if the Unis were up against Flora and Lou, they did not back out. Seeing that, I abandoned the thought of winning a pudding myself. After that, the elves and the angels heard about the pudding. The result, the eggs are now exclusively for pudding making. I want to hasten the increase of the number of chickens. A guest came to the village. This was the first time seeing his fine clothes. He's probably a noble, but he's not flashy enough, so he's probably a bureaucrat. He came here alone while being guided by Gran Maria's group. The guest is not human. If my senses are correct, he might be someone from the demon race. Therefore, I met him with a moderate number of people who can fight. Lou, Tia, and Flora. The Kuros are hiding behind the scene. The High Elves and Lizardmen are also there while holding their respective weapons. The Unis are also in that place and are all behind me. Gran Maria brought him alone. Kudel and Coron are not here. It is because it is dangerous if all of us gather in one place. Because of that, Zabaton is not here too. I am the Demon King's envoy. I would like to meet the representative of this place. Demon King's envoy. He looks like a normal human being, but he's a demon after all. Anyway, since he's looking for me, I stepped forward. That would be me. You? The other party was stunned for a moment but managed to calm down after a bit. I probably am too far from what a legitimate village chief looks like. How impolite of me. My name is Bezel. I am the Demon King's envoy. I'm Hiraku. Because the other party did not say his last name, I did not say mine too. He probably only cares about first names. The man who introduced himself as Bezel showed various things as proof that he really is the Demon King's envoy. After the confirmation, he gave me some presents. It is a token of our acquaintanceship. Thank you very much. I don't really know what other things he gave me, but seeing Lou's pleased expression, these are probably good things. Normally, I should have a few more exchanges of pleasantries, but I want to move to the main subject. So what does Demon King Sama wants? For this occasion, I add Sama to the Demon King. I don't want things to go bad and be in trouble. We want to discuss about our relationship with this place. That's the only message? No, I have a certain level of authority. I have enough power to decide our relationship with this place. Ah, I see. He wants to discuss their relationship with this place. I recalled the Demon King's sphere of influence. In other words, do they want us to pay tax? Or do they want us to leave? I previously heard that I don't need to worry anything about the Demon King since he never helped us with anything. Should I consult this matter with Lu and Tia? When I turned my gaze to them, they returned my gaze as if saying they leave everything to me. I see. They entrusted this to me. This negotiation. The basics of negotiation. First, you need to be resolute with your proposal. If you recognize us living here, I am willing to pay 10% of our harvested goods as tax. 10%? I tried presenting tax, which is basically profit. It is necessary to propose a cheap tax first since he will definitely propose a heavy tax later, and since we volunteered to pay tax, it's a good point for them. By paying taxes, we are basically saying that we recognize and has no plan to defy the Demon King. However, since I don't know much about the economy of this world, I said a bullish percentage first. That is, 10% of the harvest. Are you sure? The other party is totally surprised. Does it mean that the tax I proposed is not too low? Since he's surprised, let's continue. Please come and get it before winter every year. If you want our tax, get it yourself. I understand. We will follow that arrangement. After that, we finalize the details. The tax is 10% of the harvested goods. However, it is limited to field crops. Milk, eggs, honey, and wine are not included. In addition, crops with low yield are not included too. They're crops that do not fill one large barrel per harvest. If there are things that the Demon King's party wanted, we must agree first and they have to purchase it from us. After summarizing all of those things and writing it in the document, Beezle returned. Though I gave him souvenirs, I reflected, as expected, I might have been too aggressive for him to agree to all those clauses. He gave me presents too. Did I do just fine? Everyone looks troubled upon hearing me. Then, Lu says, I think it was not bad at all. By paying tax, we will be under the other party's protection. I agree. Even so. Fufu, 10%? Tia laughs as if something is funny. It seems like the normal tax rate for harvested goods is from 50% to 60%. Depending on the place, it might even rise up to 90%. It was also nice to let him get it. It is indirectly saying that we don't want them to take up residence here. Anne nods. I don't have such intention. We can harvest many times a year. Since they will only come once before winter, they won't be able to accurately measure our production volume. To gain the protection of the Demon King's army with less than 10% tax. As expected of the village chief, Ria puts together her opinion. I never planned such a thing. I plan to properly calculate our tax and pay our share with the right amount. Maybe this is the common sense of this world. In any case, case closed. Let's go back to work everyone. By the way, the souvenirs we gave Beezle are valuable medicinal herbs. They are all around medicine that can be made as a medicine or as an ointment. Demon King's Castle. Beezle, how was it? What was the other side's demand? They said that they will pay tax. What? They are willing to be under us? Yeah, but they have enough power to exterminate that wyvern. You're right, but that was the other party's proposal. There might be something behind this. I also thought so, but we have no choice but to accept it. Why? The blood-sucking princess and the angel of annihilation are there. Not only that, there were countless inferno wolves and high elves. Lizardmen and unners too. TN. Blood-sucking princess equals Lu, angel of annihilation equals Tia, angels of holocaust equals Gran Maria, Kudel, and Coron, snipers of the forest of death equals high elves. You probably have the idea of how powerful they are now. No way. That's not possible. It was one of the angels of Holocaust that acted as my guide. That time, I thought my life will be over. Unbelievable. But with that war potential, They can really exterminate that wyvern. I know what you mean with that war potential. How can I not adhere to their proposal? It is impossible to refuse. The moment I refuse, they will turn hostile. Moo, moo. Then, what did you? I agreed, but we need to do something. Fortunately, their representative is someone easy to talk with. Is that so? Yeah, he even gave me souvenirs. Who? What did you get? I haven't checked yet. Let's check. I'll show it to Demon King Salmon, otherwise, it will look like I received some bribe. It will be a problem if it is something dangerous. Let me check. Moo. You're right. Let's check a little. Oh. This fabric inside are fruits. It looks like a po but with better shape and color. Yes. Don't eat it without permission. I'm poison tasting it. Delicious. No. It's pretty good. This is amazing. Really? You really are. What happened? This sack where you get that fruit. Oh. What a beautiful fabric. Something wrong? This fabric is made from the thread of a demon spider. Moreover, judging from the size of this fabric, it is made by the great demon spider. Demon spider, you mean the overseer of death? Ah, great. The one that fought with the Demon King 100 years ago and ended with a draw. Considering the size of the fabric, there is no mistake. Did he intentionally give something this important to you? I want to think so, but it was used as a fruit trap? Then he did not give it as a gift. Then that means the great demon spider is there. I will resign today. Please wait. You are the top of the 4 heavenly kings, the number 1 on the list. Are you really going to escape? Wait, I'm still talking. Let me come with you. Chapter 45, Dragon Guest. When I thought that our usual everyday life has returned after the guest left, another guest arrived. Similarly to what happened earlier, the citizens of my village has gathered at the entrance of the village. My name is Dream. I am a noble dragon. The guest was a dragon. He's a western dragon that you usually see in fantasy manga and anime. He's about 30 meters in length, far bigger than the wyvern before. He looks very powerful, if he properly stands. The dragon who introduced himself as Doraemon is in a bowing posture. Here is our present. Please accept it. Is this Doraemon's follower? A man wearing a butler suit presented me a big box respectfully. Thank you very much. Anyway, when I was about to receive it, Dagger stepped forward and received, but he showed it to Anne instead of me. Afterwards, Anne checked the content and brought the box in front of me. It is a beautifully decorated sword and its sheath. What a marvelous present. No. This present, is it a token of friendship? I can only give him foodstuff in return. By the way, what is your business here? Right, my lord. Doraemon-sama has a nest on that mountain south of here. Is that so? Though it is a bit distant. You can consider us as your neighbor. We might have been slow, but we want to greet our neighbors. You are very polite. But what is the reason your lord looks like he's apologizing? Excuse me. Master, please raise your head. Why yeah, if they didn't introduce themselves earlier, I would probably think that the butler is the master. My master is not good at talking with people he met for the first time, so I apologize on his behalf. If we have offended you in any way, I sincerely apologize. No, I don't mind. Since you have come, I would like to welcome you, but it is a bit troublesome with your size. I understand. Master, please get smaller. After the dragon replied, smoke popped out and a weak-looking, tall, middle-aged man showed up. He looks like a noble. Please excuse us. Master, please introduce yourself again. My name is Dream. I am a noble dragon. Could he possibly practice that line to avoid making mistake? In any case, though he's tall, he's at a human size now. I invited him to our house for a banquet. This wine is delicious. This food is also delicious. I will not go home. I'll live here. That's not good. If you don't get back to the nest to protect it, I'll get yelled at by various people. It will be fine. I can intercept even if I'm here. Yes, you can, but you'll be an inconvenience here. Moo. Inconvenience? Yes, inconvenience. If battle starts here, you basically can't do anything. How rude. I'm a noble dragon. I was impolite. I'll rephrase. You can't do anything productive here. Moo. Let's return while you are still being treated as a guest. They also wrapped various souvenirs for us. Apple. Is apple included? Please be relieved. I received large quantity of it. I understand. Let's return. Yes. Please go back to your original size. And the dragon left, though they left with a large quantity of crops. I think it's still insufficient compared to the value of the sword. In any case, I reflected on many things. This village is not prepared to entertain guests. I never considered welcoming guests before, so it can't be helped since I'm too unsociable. I think that's not good. It's not really good, right? First of all, even if we need some time to prepare to receive the guest, I can't leave them standing on the ground outside. However, I can't invite them in the house immediately since they'll exactly know what we've been doing. I should make a fine waiting room for guests. Okay, let's build a house for guests' use. Next, the welcoming ceremony. It is not good for having almost everyone together every time there is a guest. Though it is important to receive guests, each one has their own respective job. Our current system, once Gran Maria, Kudel, or Coron discovers a guest, she will guide that person around. Since she will directly guide them, we won't receive any report of their initial contact. After that, Zubaton will notice that someone unknown is approaching the village and will sound the alarm. Because of Zubaton's alarm, everyone will gather. Therefore, I decided to have a new signaling system for Zubaton. Danger alarms will be the same as before. The new signal for visitor is ringing a bell. That bell is personally crafted by the elves, though I thought that hitting an iron is already a good idea, but that seems not to be the case. The sound of hitting an iron is awful, so the bell was made. That became the standard now. The role of greeting guests will be taken by only 3 people, me, Lu, and Tia. However, Anne, Ria, and Dagger opposed my suggestion. So, in addition to the 3 of us, several high elves, Unna and Lizardman will accompany us. Flora wanted to take part in it, so I asked her to look out at the guests during the night if they will stay overnight. Like Lu and Tia, Ria and Anne are also fine doing an all-night vigil if there is a guest, but I want them to sleep properly, so I asked Flora to do it. This arrangement is probably all right now. Well, we might fail in some things later, but let's take that an opportunity to learn and improve. I don't think that we'll have guests that often. I just raised a flag, and a guest showed up. Chapter 46. Beastkin guests. After the envoy of the Demon King and the Dragon, the next guests are a group of beastmen wearing armor. Because of the terrain on the way here, it is impossible to use wagons, though not as much as Dagger's group when they arrived. The beastmen are carrying big baggage. There are 10 of them. Looking at their ragged equipments, they are definitely experienced warriors, though their faces look like human. They have ears on their heads, and tails on their butts. The hairiness of their arm varies individually. There are some who has animal-like arms, but there are some who has human-like arms too. I am Gulf. We came from the Howling Village, which is located in the middle of the mountain in the east. We want to establish friendly relation with this village. A representative from the group stepped forward. By the way, Kudel was the one who guides them. When I was about to step forward too, Lu appeared before me. Welcome. The Big Tree Village welcome you. Something's wrong. Lu seems sarcastic. Thank you. I would like to guide you to a place to rest, but... Is this all of you? Yes. Is there a problem? Really? Then, we will consider the rest as enemies. Lu said that forcefully. What do you mean? While I was thinking about it, 2 beastmen came out of the forest. It seems that they are wearing camouflage clothes. When I was thinking about what had happened, the Kuros showed up behind the 2. I'm sorry. It seems like they were separated from us. That's dangerous. You should have checked before entering the village. Also, refrain from doing anything unruly in the village. Any citizen of the village can take care of you if anything happens. I understand. We will not do anything unruly, we promise. With Lu on the lead, the beastmen entered the recently built guest house. That guest house, I proposed that it should be enough for it to house 4 individuals luxuriously. However, it was rejected because the others said that it was too small. To come to this village, one needs to cross the mountain and pass through the forest. Unlike the Demon King envoy and the dragon, normal people will need to travel in a group. Depending on the circumstances, it is said that to travel here, a group of 30 is the minimum. Thinking about it, I was convinced, so we built a big one. There are 12 visitors this time. It is more than enough for them. The guest house was built at the south side extension of the southwest area where the houses of Rhea and Flora was built. Though it is only a one-story house, it is as large as my house. Since it will be used by guests, we made the furnitures more showy and the facilities have good functionalities. In fact, the decorations are far more elaborate than those in my house. It might seem that this is only a slightly good inn, but this is the best we can provide in our village. Therefore, I decided to call it an inn rather than a guest house. That name fits it the best. The inn has a backyard and it is fully enclosed by a fence. What is the purpose of the fence? Purpose, you ask? Well, you can't cross this fence unless you have permission. What kind of purpose is that? Though it was actually used at a later time, the fence is not a simple log fence. It is a high-quality fence with elaborate design. Since we don't have paint, it is of wooden color, but if I manage to get paint, I'll paint it white. After building the inn, I looked around and noticed something crude. I see Rhea's group's house from a distance. It is an open area I plowed without any obstacle. I don't necessarily need significant obstacle, but I want to have some cover, at least something like a tree. So I decided to plant a fruit tree near Rhea's house. I want to be a little practical, so it's a fruit tree. I planted apples, pears, and persimmons. How many cherries should I plant? Ma, it will be covered with trees after a while. After that, I made a field like a home garden and planted strawberries and watermelon. I made the same thing to the other houses too. In the vicinity of the inn, I put importance on appearance. I thought of cherry blossom, so I planted cherries. And I also planted fence-like plants inside the fence that surrounds the inn. I don't know the name of that plant, but I imagined how they look like in my previous world. It will become another fence. Probably similar to this. How do I trim them? Let's think about it after they grow up. After that, I also planted trees in each area. The fruits outside the fields are free for all. Moreover, I planted fruit trees they requested. Everyone loves it. When I expanded the southwest area for the construction of the inn, the name changed to residential area. I didn't think much about it, but since the name was recognized by the ones living there, everyone called it such. By the way, the place where my house and the big tree are located is called Big Tree Area. Are we really welcoming our guests, or are we confining them? I feel doubtful of Lou's action. Tyr answered my question. Husband, usually, an ambassador who seeks friendship will prepare some present. Even that dragon brought one. So their purpose is not friendship? That might be the case, so we should not do the usual procedure that we should have followed. Indeed, that's true. Besides, they obviously hid 2 soldiers. Lu-san is already being courteous. Is that so? Kyudel guide them here. She did not notice those who were hiding. She noticed them, but let them be because they are not a threat. I'll scold her later. Be gentle. They are certainly not a threat. Right. I'll keep that in mind. That night, we invited our Beastman guest to a welcome banquet. The venue is the inn. Lu, Tyr, and I participated in that banquet. Though Ryu and Anne came with us, they dedicated their time monitoring things behind the scenes. The dishes served were the thing we normally eat. We just made them look a little luxurious. The fruits are displayed as they are and are neither peeled nor cut. During the banquet for Doraemon, we had a big party and the fruits were all garnished. It is not realistic to make the same reception to everyone who comes. When a king comes, when a noble comes, when a merchant comes, when a friend comes, and when a stranger comes, it is natural for the reception to change. I fully understand that, but since this is our first meeting, I will serve them wine. Though I'm like the outcast of this group, I have to blend in. I don't know their purpose for coming here. I'll be humble until the time it is clear whether they are an enemy or not. My apologies for this poor meal. I brought the wine out, but only a limited amount. About 2 glasses per person. After drinking all the wine, the drinks become water. It is already a plus alpha that I served them wine and regular food. Even so, Lu still looks dissatisfied. In the middle of the banquet, I already planned to hear what is their purpose by questioning them. That time, they probably already have their guards down. That is my goal, so when he began eating, I received them hospitably. Let's begin. My apologies for my ignorance, but What kind of place is Howling Village? I already asked the citizen of my village, but none of them know. Howling Village is located at the mountain east from here. It is said to have been founded 1,000 years ago, but in reality, it is probably about 500 years ago. The elderly loves to boast in the strangest things. Gulf speaks nonchalantly. Could it be the effect of wine? The population of the Howling Village is about 500 people. It is a gathering of 5 settlements that have 100 people each. So it is basically a coalition of mountain settlements. TN, a mountain settlement needs your help, village chief. I'll mark it on your map. All of them are beastkins and most of them are dogkin. They make a living by hunting, mining, and trading with a human village on the other side of the mountain. However, there has been trouble with the human village, so their trade stopped. They took a hard hit because of it and has no choice but to look for another place to trade with. They recently learned the existence of our village. It seems like it is because of the subordination notice from the Demon King. The Howling Village and the human village they are trading with are both parts of the Demon King's territory, so they are also subjects of the Demon King. I see. I roughly understood their purpose. Afterwards, I listened to the hardship Gulf's group faced to come here. The others are making agreeable responses while eating. Looking around, it seems like the other beastkins are enjoying their food. I'm relieved. If we kept hiding, I might have never had the chance of eating this. It's a good thing we were found out. By the way, why did you hide? Well, it is the first time we come to this village. It is necessary to be vigilant, and if something happens, they will go back to the village to report. Lou and Deer seem to be focused on information gathering. How reliable? TN. Manga Chapter 24 Page 1. Chapter 47. Howling Village. Gulf's group has returned. Their said purpose of having a friendly relationship with us is no lie. The reason why they didn't bring any present is that there is no such custom in Howling Village. I heard that it is because they are poor. When I asked Lou and Tia, I groaned because there is certainly such custom, but it is practiced by nobles and wealthy people. Different type of people has different values. I should have thought so from the start. I acknowledged our friendship, but I need to clarify several things first when it comes to trade. From what I heard from Gulf, the form of trade is barter. Like this village, Howling Village doesn't seem to have the circulated currency of this region. Besides, it seems like both villages have the things the other one wants. The problem now is the difficulty of conducting trade. Though both villages consider what the other village possesses is of great value, bringing the goods to the other village and bringing it back on their own is highly difficult. That's what they thought, but on our end, I think this place is relatively safe. Either Lou or Tia can travel alone and the Kuros can accompany them in carrying luggage. In addition, we can discontinue trading with them anytime we want if there is anything we dislike. This arrangement is not bad. Next topic, what to trade. Howling Village specialized in various ores and products that uses them. Though I heard various things from Gulf, the thing I am most interested in is the paint. It seems like it was made by crushed colored rocks. I can finally paint the fence of the inn. There are also silver products. It seems like they mainly make tablewares. I yearn for it a little because all the tableware in this village is made of woods. Glass products. Though they don't have the transparent type of glass, there are still various small and big products like bottles. Lou and Flora are interested in those. It seems like glass bottles are good for preserving medicine. It will also be suitable for storing honey. Iron products. They have things like pot and frying pan. Before Ann and Dagger's group came, we've been using cooking utensils made of rocks compared to those. Cooking utensils made of iron are easier to use. I want them. Howling Village wants food. In short, our crops. Because they are located halfway up the mountain, food security is a problem. The fruits we served them are quite popular and they even lowered their head to ask for it. And the wine too. It wouldn't be a problem if we trade some crops. No. The population of the village is also increasing. Because of that, we should stock more food. It will be good to expand the field extensively. At any rate, the village-to-village barter will be held on autumn, and aside from the Howling Village, several other villages will also participate. I'll consult everyone regarding this matter first. The result of the consultation, large-scale expansion of the field. It is presently 8 by 8 fields. It increased 4 folds and the size now is 16 by 16. As expected, there is a limit to how much I could plow. Though there is a limit, I'm the only one who can use the AFT. I have to persevere. I have to break that limit. Actually, I even feel that my plowing speed increases. Did I get used to it? I'll do the plowing while the others take care of the crops and harvesting. The elves, lizardmen, and spiderlings worked hard. By the way, out of the 256 fields, 64 are vineyards. 1/4 of the field is dedicated for wine. Is that all right? Anyway, except from me, everyone agreed with that arrangement. After that meeting of what to plant on the other fields, I mainly planted grains like corn, rice, wheat, barley, and soybean. The amount of carrots, potatoes, cabbages, tomatoes, pumpkins, cucumbers, radishes, spinach, onions, and garlics are the same as before. Sugar cane and rapeseed are surprisingly popular too. Rapeseed for oil and sugar cane for sugar. Those and several seasonings. Since it has been discussed that we can sell pepper and sesame seeds, it has been decided to plant more of them. That reminds me, I challenged wasabi because it needs to be planted on a paddy field. I plowed near the reservoir using the AFT. I succeed. I acquired wasabi. Though I have wasabi now, there is no dish where I can use it. I handed the miso and soy sauce production to Flora. Flora is way better than me on that aspect. I told her the theory and process, so it is up to her to know the right quantity by using trial and error method. Oh yeah, I discovered something about koji. I transformed the AFT to shamoji and used it to mixed crops while wishing it to be koji. It fermented in a good way and became koji. In short, I can make as much as koji as I want as long as I use the shamoji form of the AFT. I built an exclusive hut for fermentation purposes and continue my experiment regarding it. All of it to realize the hope of my tongue. TN. Manga Chapter 24 page 9. Chapter 48. Reaffirming roles. Because the population increased, I reconfirmed everyone's role. The high elves are the carpenters and are also helps with harvesting and hunting. During winter, they have more free time, so they enter the forest and engage in mining work to collect iron. I don't know how to build anything at first, but with their help, there are a lot of buildings in our village now before I know it. The elves' skills are wonderful. They are reliable citizens. The Unis are maids of all the houses here. They greatly improved our living conditions. Their main job is cooking and cleaning. They are also taking care of the inn even if there is no guest. Presently, they are researching on how to process the crops we harvest and new dish to cook. Though there is a minimal result, the result of their research is quite popular. There are savior. The lizardmen are doing all the heavy labor. The high elves and the Unis are also powerful, but they can't match the lizardmen. They are cooperating with the Unis on various parts of the village. They also volunteered to take care of the chickens and cows, so I leave it to them. I am thankful. Though they are a race that is always in the reservoir, when it is time to sleep, they go to their residences. Amu. The Kuros secure meat by hunting, and they also patrol the inside and outside of the village. They are the oldest resident of this village, but they cannot talk. We can communicate with them to a certain extent, but it is obvious that they still need to rely on others. I was shocked when I found out that one high elf is able to identify the Kuros individually. Zabuton and her spiderlings are the seamstresses of the village. No, they are the weaver spiders. TN. Seamstresses here refers to a person who sews. The weaver is obviously referring to spiders. Not a single citizen has complained about the fabric or the clothes made by Zabuton and her spiderlings. In addition, because she's living in the highest point of the village, she has the role of alarming us if there is trouble. I can't thank her enough. I'll plant more potatoes for her. The angels Gran Maria, Kudel, and Coron, the fly through the forest to check the surroundings. They are also excellent guide considering all of our previous guests. At first, there is at least one of them flying non-stop, but I persuade them to calm down a little bit and even gave them a day off. It is because that is something that can't be done by 3 people alone. Lou, Tia, and Flora. They are like my secretary and consultant. Basically, the 3 of them has their own individual researches, and they are also directing the high elves. the Unis and the Lizardmen on some things. Lou and Flora are researching medicine-related things. Tia researches magic. Also, because of my personal request, Flora is researching on how to make miso and soy sauce. Aside from the miso and soy sauce, because of their research, they are treated as the village doctors. Now, the Slims, bees, chickens, and cows. Let's just say they are working hard on their individual activities. The bees produce honey this year too. It is a whole lot compared to last year, so it is very helpful. Thinking about it, the things I have to do has increased too, in regards to the night activities. At first, there are only Lou and Tia. After that, 7 high elves, then another 5 high elves joined. There are things that I want to say, but I'm not sure if I really have to say it. Let's just think that everything is alright. After that, the high elves suddenly increased by 42, 20 animaids also joined, and there's also Flora. Every one of them is female. It is already too much, so I rejected them. My inner limit was reached. Since I'm the only one who can satisfy their desire, I'm also surprised by Anne. She always kept some distance, but who would have thought that she's so aggressive? When the spring came, I was delighted to meet Dagger's group that came together with Gran Maria, Cudel, and Coron. Male. I want to monopolize the females, but thinking about the responsibility scares me. Currently, I'm the only target of all the females here, so I want some comrades at arms. Though I received healthy body from God and my body can withstand them, my mind can't keep up. Finally, there's hope. Dagger. However, there is no hope. We lay eggs. Male transfers semen to the female in a specific time to bear the egg. It seems that I won't be able to make it out easily. By the way, Masayuki's batch, Kuro's grandpap, found their partners but no longer increase their numbers. In any case, I am never free at night. A certain news has reached me. Lou is pregnant. Whose child is it? Ha 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 ha. Mine. Woo. I tried to calm down but I can't. Well, it is natural considering all the things we've done, but I still panic a little. Of course, I am very pleased. Everyone in the village is also in a festive mood. That evening, the number of who wants to do it increased. Yes, I understand how you feel. However, if all of you became pregnant now, things will be troublesome. I did my best. At that same time, a permission application to lay eggs at the reservoir was issued. It seems that the lizardmen plan to lay eggs. I don't mind them laying eggs, but they can't directly use the reservoir. So I made an egg-laying space at the side of the reservoir. One individual only bears 1 egg. 5 lizard women lay eggs this time, so there are 5 eggs. They basically leave them alone in the water, but they also need to watch them in turn until they hatch in case a foreign enemy shows up. Because the Kuros and the spiders are there, the lizardmen were pleased since their eggs are much safer now. They will give birth to healthy children. Wait, they gave birth already, right? I hope healthy children hatch. Anisama, congratulations on your pregnancy. Fufafu, thank you. It's just, I have one question. Nani? We are vampires. Don't we increase our numbers with blood contract? You are right, but I'm already pregnant. I guess this method works too. Chapter 49. Reputable Bartering Village. This year, visitors continue to arrive since spring, but the spiderlings are still leaving as usual. The pups did not go out to find partners this year. Did they all find their rightful partners here, or did they reach a certain population limit? Though it is breeding season, some of them did not get pregnant this year. It is good that they have some sort of birth control. While thinking about it, a group of Kuros went out. About 30 of them. I don't know what they are planning to do, but they are giving an atmosphere that they will not come back after a while. I hope they won't get hurt. Summer passed and it is now autumn. The day to barter with the Howling Village has come. I thought that it is only natural for me to go, but I was stopped by everyone. They say that it is a sign of weakness and we might get underestimated if the village chief himself go. Never thought that there is something like that. In any case, it is said that the chief should not easily move. After that, after an intense Janken battle, Tia was the winner. I didn't mean to bring the Janken culture here since the hands of the other tribes are completely incapable of playing. However, they managed to play so by shouting. It became a new rule for the all-race Janken. As for the other members, 5 lizardmen including Dagger, At first, I thought of sending all the lizardmen, but it was reduced to that number since they need to watch the eggs. It seems like they will hatch soon. 10 high elves will compensate for their reduced number. It was decided by draw lot. As a result, a total of 16 people will carry the baggage. It will take 10 days for them to arrive there, 2 days to stay, and another 10 to return. That was the supposed schedule, but it was suddenly changed. The dragon Diraim came to play, so I asked him to transport things with 1 barrel of wine as compensation. This Diraim, every time he came to this village, he'll eat so much food and drink wine while grumbling to the point of vomiting. Like the template, his butler will pick him up the next day. Did he think that our village is a pub or something? Even so, it is hard to refuse him since he brings a present every time he came here. Well, I think him doing that seems profitable. I'm not that familiar with jewels and armors, but seeing Lu and Tyr not saying anything, they must be very valuable. Well, though I'm not sure if that is an acceptable excuse for letting him drink. There is a banquet every time he came. Diraim obediently accepted my proposal. In addition to being the transport service, he'll also stay there to keep them company. I heard that the reason he wanted wine was after bragging our wine to other dragons. He was threatened that his dark history will be exposed if he didn't bring them some. So there are those kind of dragons too. In any case, since Diraim will give them a lift, travel time is almost negligible. It seems like Diraim can go to that place in an hour while carrying the baggage. On the contrary, he told me that it will take time to load the baggage on his back. Indeed, but how can loading time can be compared to 10 days traveling? We prepared several same-sized wooden boxes as much as possible to lay in our goods. I'm glad that Diraim can carry a lot of them. There is no change on the bartering team. We talked several times in a meeting about what crops are necessary for the village. What if there was leftover? It will be troublesome if the value of the crops will bring there would be too low there. There are several things they talked about that I didn't understand, but since none of us has been there and we don't know the demand of the village, we let Tyr decide after seeing the place. I have no problem with that arrangement, but I want to avoid dispute. Let's hope nothing will go wrong. They brought fruits like apple, pear, persimmon and orange. For grain, they brought wheat, barley, soybean, and corn. After that, hard crops that will be able to endure transport like carrot and radish. Strawberries and tomatoes are not good for now. This is our first raid, so we have as much as type as possible. Apart from crops, they also brought 10 barrels of wines and some seasoning. 10 barrels of wine might be too much, but since Diraim is with them, we'll allow him to drink there. I only hope that he doesn't drink too much and met an accident while going back. Howling Village. Do you think the people of Big Tree Village will really come? Don't worry. We made sure they know when to arrive. But I haven't seen anyone entering the vicinity of this mountain yet. HNN. Something wrong? What is that? That. Which? That one flying in the sky. Dragon? It's going here. After sending off Tyr, we return to our daily activities. Taking care of the fields, playing with the Kuros. After that, consulting the villagers. Though I say consultation, it's just asking what they want to add or change in this village. I want this type of facility here. I want another waterway there. Let's plant this kind of crops more next time. Can I drink wine? I spent my time hearing those kinds of requests. Of course. I never forget to spend time with Lu, whose tummy is getting bigger. By the way, it seems like I don't need to worry about childbirth. Several high elves and Unners have witnessed and are knowledgeable about delivery. Everyone told me that there is no need to worry. I decided not to listen to the voice inside me. Tyr's group came back as scheduled. I immediately checked the luggage at Diraim's back and checked for leftovers. Everything was bartered. I left the unloading to Dagger's group and listened to Tyr's report. All the crops are well received. At first, they were cautious of me, the high elves, and the lizardmen. They're scared to approach us. People started to gather with the free-tasting husband suggested. People started to gather and everything was bartered. Free tasting was something I suggested before Tyr left. I want them to know that we're not deceiving them, so I have them had the taste of our crops. Well, the free taste is mainly the fruits since they are the only ones that can be readily eaten. I was glad that it was popular. No wine left. It seems like Daraim's expression was getting darker and darker every time wine was bartered. He's still sulky even now. Tear. Let's hear the rest of your report while eating. Daraim. We'll serve wine there, as expected of the village chief. You know how to break others' pain. As expected of you. To think that you'll turn that way after seeing 10 barrels of wine bartered. Chapter 50. Meeting while drinking wine and new residents. A banquet happened in the name of a meeting. Since Daraim is also here, we decided to do it at the inn. I had Deer summarize their experience and report it. It starts at the time they arrive there. It seems like the village panicked when they saw Daraim in his dragon form. They managed to calm them down and unload the luggage on that day, then spend the night there. Food on that village is really scarce, so the emergency ration that Tear's group brought are consumed by them earlier than they thought. The next day, as soon as the sun rises, they open shop for business, but no one approached them for a while. Because of that, they tried attracting the customer by free tasting products. Before they noticed it, all of the luggage they brought were traded. The most popular are the fruits and wine. Though all the grain-type products were traded, we're not sure what among it they really want, since the one who bought them are the village chief, the village heads, and those who have big houses that can stock them. TN. Remember, Howling Village is 5 villages combined. The thing we obtained by bartering are, as expected, paints, iron products, silver products, and glass products. The barter trade continued until the sun was about to set. Because they were able to trade them all earlier than usual, they had thought of returning as soon as possible, but they were stopped by the village chief and the village heads and asked them to stay until the next day. The reason? They want to continue our trade relations because they can't trade grains unless they go to a city. Their dinner is the crops and wine the villagers bartered from them, and no one seems to be dissatisfied. The next day, they reconfirmed what they have discussed during the night. They brought the luggage to Daraim's back and came home during the afternoon. I see. Let's move on to the next topic. Next is the state of the village. That village can neither be considered as poor nor rich. Thought village moves every time they changed their mining site. It is clean. The children hunt and forage while the adults mine. However, since the ore they obtained from the mine and the products they made from them can no longer be traded to the human village, they are in a quite perilous state. Just like what Gulf previously said, even though this place is far, they came here to look for food. Unfortunately, even though Big Tree Village has the food they need, they can't go frequently because of the danger, even though the things they can carry per trip is limited. Therefore, they will be saved if we can trade like this in the future. They are even willing to trade even outside their village. They also said that if there is anything that we want, we just need to say a word and they will prepare it as much as possible. That seems to be the state of their village. Why do I feel like the last one is some sort of appeal? Because the drunk Daraim is now sleeping happily. We end the meeting. I thank the group who went to Howling Village, then leave. Husband. Is it all right? Is there anything you didn't tell me during the meeting? No, I honestly forgot it during the meeting. HNN, the village chief there asked us if we could migrate some of their villagers here. I did not answer immediately and said that I still need to think about it. Migrate? Yes. It seems like the Howling Village is trying to decrease the mouth to feed. Ah, is that so? They want to hit 2 birds on 1 stone. They will be able to decrease the mouth to feed while increasing the food each of them can eat. I don't mind increasing our population further, but I wonder why Tyr did not immediately reply to them. Because all the immigration applicants are young beast women. They cannot let beastmen migrate since they are their labor force. They can't also send the elderly since we can't use any of their wisdom and it will worsen the image of their immigration plan. So the only choice a young beast woman. How nice of Tyr to not reply immediately. But what they're up to is really obvious. Fortunately, the Big Tree Village has room to spare. The more helping hands, the happier I am. Will they do the same if we are the ones in trouble? As for me, if I can help, I would help. However, how many will migrate? Maximum of 22. However, if we are going to accept them, we need to dedicate 1 or 2 people to educate them. Let's accept all of them under one condition. Condition R. tell them to add a few young men. We don't have a good relationship, so I can't accept one-sided help. I would like them to help with my trouble too. Male shortage. That's the condition? Yes. At least 2 young males, but the more the better. I understand. Also, if one whole family wants to migrate, tell them we'll accept them. You want a whole family to migrate? If they are to send their daughter to an unknown place, it is not strange for them to worry. I'm not sure if anyone will think of it that way, but I understand. Not everyone will think that way. So it is only a common sense of my previous world? The next day, Tyr alone went to Howling Village to finalize the migration. 10 days later, I asked Darain to carry them here. One request to a dragon cost 1 barrel of wine. Is it cheap or expensive? New residents arrived at the village. 25 beastkins, 22 beast women. 3 males. My long-awaited males. Male. Ha 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 ha. Dot. The 3 males are kindergarten children. These are the young men. Was it intentional? I don't think so. Ma. They followed my condition, but no, I won't give up. Even if they are useless now, they will be breakwater in several years. In addition, even if they are young, I can use them to avoid being a seed bag eventually. Not bad. Not that bad. Now, I just need to train them slowly. Good luck being men raised by carnivorous women. I am Senna. I am grateful for accepting our migration. Senna is the representative of the migrants. Among those who came, she the eldest, and she has dog ears. She seems to be a daughter of the village chief of Howling Village. We will endure anything you'll do to us, but please do not abandon us. Don't be afraid. You're a migrant now, but you'll be a citizen of Big Tree Village. In the future, you'll be one of us. To treat us like that. Thank you very much. Honestly, I am prepared to be treated less than a slave. I apologize for wasting your sorrowful resolution. For now, we've prepared a place for you. All of you will live there for a while. For a while? Once you get accustomed to life here, I will listen to your request, like where do you want to live or what kind of house do you want. I understand. I called one of the Unimaids. I am Ramurias. I was appointed to be your caretaker. Please take care of me. If there is something you don't understand, just ask her. Yes, thank you very much.